Well, in the darkness of the cinema, terror's icy grip unfolds the audience a morbid solace from life's relentless ache, drawn to horror's macabre dance where fears are faced and reality's veil is lifted. So if a horror film is told well, it can transport viewers into a realm of visceral emotional experience, culminating in palpable atmospheric tension and primal fear that triggers transcendent reality and inviting audiences to immerse themselves in a purging journey of vulnerability. So this morning we are joined by Pumelela Tshazibana, who is a producer of I Isthunzi, Christopher Leisewitz and Obakeng Malete, who are the directors of the film. Now, this 12-minute thriller explores trauma, identity, and the haunting persistence of the past. And we welcome them this morning. Guys, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Very icy and gripping tale, isn't it?
That's what we hope.
That's what we are hoping.
What drew you to
for.
it? I mean, what really inspired you to create such?
Okay, so at our school, we go through a script selection process where directors, producers, and the writers come together to collaborate, to conceptualize ideas around the script that we have chosen, right?
Yeah.
And then I think what drew me to I Isthunzi was the fact that I was so excited to be exploring the psychological horror for the very first time. So I think for me, what drew me to I Isthunzi was just taking up the challenge of exploring this genre that people consider as the toughest genre to make. Yeah.
Why psychological horror, though?
So for us, really, in some senses, it's an easy decision because as a crew, all of us shared that urge. You know, we really want to do a horror film.
Yeah.
A lot of student films tend to veer towards drama because, again, we're students. We don't really know what we're doing. And, and drama, it's just an inciting incident, some characters, a thing. That's all you need. Horror's a little bit more difficult, though. It's about the build-up. It's about the reveal. It's about the intrigue, the twists and turns of the characters, and being able to support what's on the page with what's on screen, with what you hear, is a real challenge. And it's something we were really drawn to, that and the cultural side of it as well.
Of course. And what makes horror even more unique, you know, is the aftermath. You know, what we feel after watching it. Like, we certainly cannot watch horror movie or film at night because you'll keep on thinking about it and possibly even dream about it. Let's talk about, you know, how you would describe, you know, the blend of horror and psychological elements in this thriller.
Well, the thing about I Isthunzi is our theme is you can't run away from your trauma, can't run away from your past. I grew up closeted as a gay person, and it was very hard for me to be open. I was running away from my trauma for you know, majority of my like youth, you know. So I deeply resonated with this, and I'm drawn to the idea of associating running away from your trauma with horror, you know. So I think that's what really inspired me.
So is this perhaps a reflection of personal trauma or just trauma in general that we go through as a nation?
Yeah, I would say that.
I would say trauma that we go through as a nation because the Shitra, one of the characters, is going through trauma. Yeah,
her trauma, she was abused when she was a little kid. And they literally moved to this secluded cabin, like in the middle of nowhere, in order to run away from this trauma, you know, so.
To start anew. And I think that also reflects, as far as theme is concerned, you know, you can't run away from your past. It's, you can choose to run from it, you can choose to fight it, you can accept that what's done is done and move on, but however you choose to approach it, what's done is done. The past is the past. It's forever going to influence your decisions in life, the relationships you keep, the decisions you make, and that's essentially what our film is about, what it's trying to say.
And how did you work with the cast, you know, to sort of portray the complexities of trauma and mental health. And did you get a sense that they portrayed it in a sense that you had initially set out or planned?
So, when working with actors, especially with a horror film like this, with themes that are so heavy, with scenes that often get as intense as we did, like filming our climax, I think we can all agree, it was an experience. Just in the little bedroom with the smoke machine on at 2 a.m. But when doing something like that, when building up to something like that, half the work is done on set, in the rehearsal space, with the script in front of you, and half of it's done away from all that. So much of what's defined I Isthunzi for me as a director has been like little casual conversations with the actors away from set, building that rapport. Yeah, you need that trust. You need that rapport. You need to be able to speak openly with each other about sensitive topics, both as a director to the actors and fostering that within the actors themselves. And if you don't do that, then the actors aren't going to be able to do their job to the best of their abilities.
Yeah. But guys, this is a 12-minute thriller, right?
Yes.
For a layman, it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, how did you manage to squeeze such deep and heavy themes such as trauma and anxiety and mental health in 12 minutes?
Yeah, it was.
So it required a lot of, from a producer's point of view, it required us to schedule before time. So we made sure that we do like meetings on like we had meetings
like on a weekly, I think
on
twice
a weekly,
a week.
we had
Twice,
like
3 times a week.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yes, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page with everything.
But I mean, 12 minutes is what it takes for me to first be introduced to the storyline of a particular film, and then to fully understand what the film is all about. That's what it takes within 12 minutes.
Well,
But by the time I understand the story, it's already done.
And that's
Yeah.
the challenge of
that's-
short film.
Exactly.
I mean, it comes really back to, the script camp process.
Yeah.
Particularly for short films, you have to be so ruthless. One problem we had is that, little peek behind the curtains, but on average, a page of a screenplay is supposed to be 1 minute on screen. That's the industry standard. So, ideally, you want a 12-page script for a 12-minute screen time. But no, you have to cut it down even more.
Yes.
Because that 12 minutes includes logos, it includes the title sequence, it includes credits. So,
All right.
10 pages.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, man, but this is an absolute must-see. So where can you see the film? Briefly?
At Ster-Kiniko.
Oh, okay.
It's actually airing today. It's
Yes,
premiering
nice.
Oh, is
today,
it?
tonight
Yeah.
at 7:30. Yes, at the Ster-Kiniko in Rosebank.
You can
All
get
right.
your tickets.
They sold out.
They're sold out?
Yes,
okay.
we
Well,
sold out.
they are
Alright.
available at the door.
Yes,
But there's
at the
only like
door.
25.
Okay.
So-
we're certainly hoping to make our way there. All right.
Yeah.
So great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Great stuff.
Thank
Well,
you.
that was Pumelela Tshazibana, Christopher Leisewitz, and Obakeng Malete talking to us about the vision behind their new short film, I Isthunzi. This gripping film is sure to leave audiences on the edge of their seats, I promise you. And don't miss I Isthunzi in the cinema, a haunting exploration of trauma, identity, and the persistence of the past.